It takes a whole shitload of work just to get me up here to be sad loudly in this microphone. And I genuinely appreciate you all so much for taking care of me and putting on this whole thing and for letting us all be here doing this weird ancient art. Yeah, man, seriously, thanks so much for bringing me. I'm like trying not to cry and just be grateful. Okay, all right, cool. I'll never cry. I've never been sad. Okay. All right, cool, man. I'm gonna do my last poem. We're gonna. I know. Listen, remember those people I said that have been working their asses off? They gotta like go home and like hang out with their families and go to sleep. So let's. Did you see you go home? Fuck you. God, shit. All right. I'm gonna do my last poem. Seriously, I mean, it's been great. I'm coming back. Like, I don't know. Obviously no definitely cancel promises yet, but like this has been fucking awesome, and I'm gonna do everything I can to come back here and hang out with you. All right, Brad. So I don't know if it's obvious from like all my poems and just like how I am, but I'm like very mentally ill, right? I'm fucking hella crazy. So I was diagnosed with OCD when I was 11, and through like a bunch of therapy, like all the therapy in the world, I was able to really get a handle on a lot of my tics and compulsions, to the point where by the time I got to college, you couldn't really tell I had OCD unless I told you, which I didn't, because it was none of your fucking business. Now people know because of the internet. So I was about 21, 22, and I started having these really intense mood swings, and I really I had no idea what was going on. So I went and I talked to my old psychiatrist, and she was like, "Yeah, dude." She's like, "Yeah, dude." I love her. And she was like, "Yeah, dude, you have bipolar disorder. Like, your dad has it, your brother has it, you're bipolar." And I was like, "Well, shit." Because like the only narrative I had for bipolar was like the crazy artist archetype, right? Somebody who's way up and they're super productive, and then they're way down and they kill themselves. So I was really sure I was going to be dead in like 6 months, and that didn't happen. Like, there's so many ways to be neuroatypical. Like, when I'm way up or way down, I often hallucinate. Most of the time, it's pretty cool, actually. Don't do drugs. But some days it's really the worst. Like, some mornings I'll wake up and like all the walls are covered in spiders, and the sun is out my window and it's screaming at me, and like, the fucking birds. And for years after I was diagnosed, I had days where I'd be freaking out so bad I couldn't like get out of bed or go to work or write a poem. And I spent all those days just beating myself up. I was like, "You're worthless. Like, if you really cared about your career or your art or your family, like you just make yourself get up and do the shit. What the fuck is wrong with you?" And the first day that I decided I was going to forgive myself for all this stuff I couldn't control, and that I was going to love myself no matter what was going on in my head. Like, it didn't get better, because nothing's magically going to make your brain better. But it got so much easier to be who I was every day. It took so much less energy to just exist. So that's kind of what this last poem's about. It's also full of dumb jokes because I'm me and I can't help myself. But seriously, if you get anything from this poem and this set and my life in the world, I want you to forgive yourself. I want you to love yourself. This is my last poem. It's called The Future. The worst thing about being naked and then being hit by a car is that road rash is a problem for skin. Why was I naked in the middle of the road at noon? I'm glad you asked. Imaginary other half of this conversation, I have no idea. Some characteristics of bipolar disorder can include dissociation, hallucinations, and fugue states. So sometimes I wake up in places I didn't go to sleep. So there I am, nude, splayed out on the hood of a car like a slutty chicken, and I'm screaming about the government conspiracy to take away my feet. Not my real feet, just my brain feet. And I'm about 6 inches away from the concrete when I realize, in slow motion, like the exact opposite of a rhinoceros attack, this is not how I imagined my life would turn out. When I was little, I broke both my ankles jumping off a roof because I was sure a cape would enable me to fly. My parents attributed this to my strong imagination. Last year, my therapist called it a delusion. I failed to see the difference. Also, I really can fly and see the future and make stupid people leave coffee shops with my mind. 43% of the time. Sometimes I see people as colors. The point is, here's a list of things that my brain has told me to do. Join a cult, start a cult, become a cabinet maker, kill myself, so in essence, become a cabinet maker. Break into and then paint other people's houses. Have sex with literally everyone. It reminds me of my mother. Fight animals that are much fucking fightier than me. Like bears. So, in essence, kill myself. I think a lot about killing myself, not like a point on a map, rather like a glowing exit sign to show it's never been quite bad enough to make me want to leave. See, when I'm up, I don't kill myself because holy shit, there is so much left to do. When I'm down, I don't kill myself because then the sadness would be over. And the sadness is my old paint under the new. The sadness is the house fire or the broken shoulder. I'd still be me without it, but I'd be so boring. You keep telling me seeing things that aren't technically there is called disturbed cognitive functioning. I call it having a superpower. Once I pulled over on the freeway and jumped out of my old red Jeep because I saw it burst into flames 20 seconds before it actually burst into flames. I knew my fiance and I would be together because she turned bright pink the first time she saw me. I know tomorrow's gonna come because I've seen it. Sunrise is going to come. All you have to do is wake up. The future has been at war, but it's coming home so soon. The future is the map and the treasure. The future looks like a child in a cape. The future is just like gravity. Everyone is simply drifting toward everyone else. We will all be part of each other one day. The future is a blue sky and a full tank of gas. I saw the future. I did. And in it, I was alive.